WM Grand Prix of Styria. Pole Espargaro gets a great start on the KTM. So KTM on pole. KTM, look again, just as you said in your analysis, using the penalty loop, if you like, for a bit of an escape road.
Look at ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Mir leads. We'll move back to that later, but that really has wiped it for Zone.
Up the throttle, so he's going to drop back as well.
Look at this. We keep talking about the changing of the guard. The front three men at the moment are the guards being checked. It was Jack indeed.
There was
Nakagami
room.
Now.
Oh!
There's Nakagami wiping him. So you can tell that Nakagami was going to try, and Vinales has got to work hard. That's pushed him out on the green. Rins on the 42 bike, but out front, Jack has made it through. Given it a good old tug, hasn't he? But
yeah,
he's making it work at the moment on the Pramac bike. It's just a question of whether it lasts throughout the Red Bull Ring. Jack Miller. Well, it's been a long time since he's won a... Finished second last time out here a week ago.
Oh, someone's really wide. Was it Quartararo? Possibly.
In this race, whether he was going to get so frustrated with the performance of things here. The championship leader has got work to do on the number 20 for him to do. Jack Miller pulling away from Joan Mir on the 36 bike. Takaki Nakagami. Well, Honda are missing.
Very wide.
And there was one of the other factory, that's Binder, that's sorting out one of the Tech 3 KTM and wiped the rear tyre of Jack Miller.
What we've seen this weekend, race pace throughout practice. Mir too. When I said at the start it's going to be about pole, can he convert this pole position? Can he deal with the pressure, Keith, of racing in this class?
Significant for me in this race so far, agreed with all you talked about, is the man in 6th place. 2 laps gone then, as we come down the front straight, and Andrea Dovizioso is putting himself in a good position. Onto the Suzuki, much fancied as well. Brad Binder, fastest lap, 25.0, so Brad Binder, the man who won, back in Britain.
And then I think get a flashback to last week. He passed Valentino for the very first time on track and ran off the track and pretty much ran off.
Continues for Jack Miller as well. Mir on the Suzuki. Agro, good to see. Do you know what I'm really pleased about? To see him calm at this point in the race.
Yeah.
Not using his tyres up, not spinning his tyre.
I mean, he was what? Over the line, he was probably about 4 or 5 seconds back, so he's... well, he's...
Oh, Mir on the Suzuki. That Suzuki turns so well, doesn't it? Turns 9 and 10. Well, the only thing I would add from last weekend, they only had 20 laps as the main race, if you like. It's 28 this time. There is going to be a... El Diablo down in 13th place. He's just taken Petrucci.
So it must have been him who went wide at turn 1.
Oh, Nakagami's man. Absolutely. Maybe not as a person, but as a motorcycle racer, he is getting it together now. Jack Miller. Well, as these guys keep falling over each other, that might just give Zarco a little bit more opportunity to close it down from the very back of the... All got red helmets up on our screens here. They are all on fast laps at the moment. It's a massive freight.
The mistake up into turn 1.
Oh, yeah, big mistake. Right up on the rumble strip. No wonder he ended up going right out.
Yeah, how many times have we seen... Yeah, that was a shot in the background.
Morbidelli also has been off on turn 4 as well. That's the penalty loop where 1 or 2 of these riders might get Mir leads.
This is going to be...
Joan Mir leads. Yeah. Let's see if he can make a break.
Exactly. What's going to be interesting, let's look at this straight now from the aerial view. How...
Really good. Suzuki didn't look bad to me. I wish we hadn't cut away from it. That was informative.
Fastest man on lap, well, fastest man in the race.
24 forces it under the independent team KTM, the Tech 3 KTM, but it's Mir out front. Now then, this is in this race, but Joan Mir is growing in stature, particularly around here, back-to-back races and Q, right on that part of the racetrack that he's mega confident on. He's always looked good through 9 and 10, isn't he?
He certainly is.
Joan Mir on the factory Suzuki.
One thing we've learnt about Mir over the years, stop, look at it, he's pulled out on this lap.
We've had fairy tales in Moto 3, fairy tales in Moto 2 on the brakes. Miller good on the brakes, he just leaves Nakagami behind. So Mir, Miller, Nakagami, Paulus Binder is up to 8th place now. He's gone past Miguel Oliveira again.
So interesting, right? So that was Mir's first lap on his own flat, 24.0.
Pole time was 23.580 by Pole Espargaro, but the track is cool. The sun's on it. There's the championship as it is. Quartararo still leads, but it's a diminishing lead as he goes to the inside.
Oh, when's he going to get a warning?
How many times has he done that?
Well, that's obviously his second time there. Is he going to get a ride through?
What he will get. Actually, Mir has got to drop a position.
That's strange.
Mir has got to drop a position due to gain...
Just as he was checking out, because he was.
That was at 14.01. Yeah, that's right. If that information is correct that we've got on our board here that we're watching at the moment. Here's Rins. He's on top of Pole Espargaro now. jump back at them. Mir, whoa, Jack's hot in there and hot again at Ducati. He's good at it though, isn't he?
He so is.
He rides it like that and it still points in the direction he wants it to. So the whole race, having picked up that injury.
Just look at the top five. You said it earlier, changing of the guards.
Yeah, looks it.
You know, with me expected of, you know, the favourite sort of Vignales, Dovizioso, Rossi.
We miss Marc Marquez, but it might be a genuine changing of the guard. Now that he's picked up such an injury, 3 months' time. That injury, the second part of his injury, must be a lot worse than anybody gave it credit for. There, to say I don't understand that, but
yeah, the fear is that if he doesn't see it, what are they going to give him a black flag?
Well, it hasn't come up on there, even though it's on our monitors here. So
Gav's just pointed out that did.
Maybe he's already done that, and then he's gone back ahead again.
Thank you, Gav.
Glad someone's paying attention. That's the trouble, you can get too engrossed in a race. Little wide is Pol Espargaro. He's got Rins still all over him. So Pol Espargaro on the 44. 42 is Alex for 4th and 5th places. Andrea Dovizioso is another half a second further back. You can see him there on zipping towards late race, almost for certain. Lot of laps left in this MotoGP race.
Well, 21 laps to go, Keith.
Long way.
So we've not even started what was the second part of the race last week. And now he'll be sat there. Don't get me wrong, he's further back than he wants to be.
Yeah, but he's keeping it in the cool. He's not getting involved in hot air from the bikes in front. I know that as well. Still Mir. It was a 0.541 gap. Still battling with Miguel Oliveira in front of them. He's
Maverick.
the number 12, Maverick Viñales, on the fact drawn their request.
Oh, this is late.
Oh, hang on, that is late, but that's so Brad Bin. Oh, no, it wasn't one on Twitter.
It was Miguel on Brad.
It was Miguel on Brad, yeah. Brad on Miguel. Miguel on Brad.
You can imagine what the KTM bosses. Equal has just passed Valentino Rossi up to 10th.
Well,
we've now got all 4 KTMs in the top 10.
When it was qualified as a bit of a wild card effort from Iker Lecuona, he didn't make it through, but he's shown real promise this weekend.
Absolutely, youngest man on the first time in his career. I bet that felt good.
Lecuona, 10th place for him at the moment. Valentino Rossi, 11th place. Fabio Quartararo, Franco Morbidelli right off of it in 16th place. Cal Crutchlow, 17th. Michele Pirro on a factory Ducati.
These two have raced each other all the way through the championships, haven't they? And it was usually Miguel Oliveira who got the best or the better of Binder. Binder was always like a year.
We've talked about it during the week, just how good these KTMs work in the hands of different styles of rock up together there. Back with Jack Miller as Davide Brivio brushes back his hair in the Suzuki camp. He'll be down to his past pole, and that'll probably be just that slightly extra bit of up top speed that the KTM has over the Suzuki. Still Quartararo behind Valentino Rossi, who's behind Maverick Viñales. Look at
drop back to that group.
Down through turn 2.
Perfect.
Straight back on the gas though, and it's quick here as well down towards turn 4, isn't it? It's a difficult racetrack. Again, you noticed it last time out. The KTM swarms towards the outside of the track. Joan Mir still leading. So the number 36, second MotoGP.
Got his first podium last time out. Second place, past Jack actually on the last lap.
Nipped underneath him. That Suzuki has always seemingly turned and steered really well. We're looking back down at the battle here as a Rin up towards turn 1. Now then,
Keith Dovy's 4.4 seconds.
He's here. That change of temperature from last week to this week will be what's making the difference. And I'll tell you what else he's got a problem with. And with Brad, he's going to have a problem with Miguel, because Miguel's going to follow Brad through whatever happens. There's the 3 of them. Dovey.
Yeah, all McGinn until he gets on the back of him.
Best KTM, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brad Binder win his first weekend. There's a lot of top riders vying for position. That's Joan Mir right out on the... got a good launch, but then it sort of bogged down, didn't it? There's Dovizioso on the undaunted Ducati.
It's so tight in here. It's lent on us.
A little bit. This is where it gets proper scary down here. Pity we didn't stay with it, that's for sure. Alex Marquez. Looking across for his re-entry, so is Cal Crutchlow as well. Brad Binder, it's just a matter of time. You know Binder, if he comes across a rider, he's going to make a pass on him, whatever happens. Look at the Ducati. That's that picture of what happened last week, running it that close. as I'm sure he has.
What is going on with Dovi?
Miguel Oliveira is going to go through. I'm going to put Dovi back in 8th place. It's only a matter of time. Mir at the line was a 0.6 of a second, 6/10 lead at the line last time around. We're looking back from Pol Espargaro at pace of the men in front. Here's Alex Marquez on Maverick Vinales. Vinales is going to get into the race just from the start. Oh, it's a mistake.
Well, is that the engine? I mean,
well, that's the other thing that I was about to say. They've withdrawn their request. I suppose that's metallurgy and everything else that goes with it to justify that. It has to be a unanimous decision by all the manufacturers to agree to it, and Yamaha being forced to withdraw, then the soft limiter so it doesn't hit the hard limiter, putting stress on the motor, take some revs off of it so it's not rotating quite so much, and valve train problem.
Well, I wonder if it has gone pop.
Lecuona.
Yeah. And Bradl's
got one as well.
And Frankie Morbidelli, all on the same lap.
Still, Joan Mir. This has been a masterclass from Joan Mir. Well, right back in the days when we saw him in Moto 3, we thought, particularly brake-wise, he used that rear brake such a lot in Moto 3, it looked like he could be a good MotoGP rider.
Frankie's his crew chief. That's the gentleman we spoke to on the grid. And Frankie said, you cannot believe when you look at his data, this kid is so talented.
He's being given some advice from pit lane, mapping 3, Davide Luchi. They want the win, but they don't want the win at all costs. If
he's basically
backing it off a little bit right now, just to save that motor a little bit. Only got 5 engines, no concessions at Suzuki. Really, oh, there he goes. It'll be in pieces if he comes straight through with a Honda on it. So through goes Nakagami. Now then, the 10 laps to go, still a long way yet. Mir back to Nakagami, 1.6 seconds at the line. Nakagami should bully that Ducati. It must have been
he made a mistake.
Yeah,
Nakagami.
Nakagami had to have made a mistake there. Whoa, Jack sideways. Look at Lucio. You're going grey, Lucio. Good reason to as well, I have to say.
Yep.
Joan Mir on his way to his first ever MotoGP win. Straight back, and I'm not talking about just MotoGP, I'm talking about Moto2 and Moto3 as well. Spectacular day. Spectacular air display in the lunchtime as well. Who was it for? Just to keep the paddock, I think, amused. And of course, telling the guard, we keep talking about it. It's happening right in front of us. Mir, Nakagami, Miller, Pol Espargaro. Lecuona is 9th, Quartararo 10th, Valentino Rossi down in 11th with Petrucci, Vinales.
Binder's closing in on that group in front.
As he would. Free air at the front. He's not going to want pole. Oh, that's a biggie for... That looks like Maverick.
Or Maverick.
Maverick's gone in. Maverick's gone in hard at turn 1. Well, they're going to call that. It's going to be dash. Mir is going to be so upset.
Oh, they've got it. Yeah,
red flag. It has to be because the airbag's gone pop. Yeah, once the airbag's gone. They talked about it in the lead-up, didn't they, to this race meeting?
I cannot believe that.
Wow.
What a horrible...
To
grab the brake, there's no brake. Look at the speed of that.
Wow, that's gone in hard, eh? What about that camera? That's a tough camera. Bails out, literally just jumped off it when he had no brake.
Wow.
You don't see that very often. What great camera. And it's such an unexpected thing in your visor, in your vision. Great camera work from Dorna.
Yeah, that's another engine.
It's go! Oh, and that was a right mess for Rins. Rins got a jump and then it went backwards, so Rins has lost out on this restart. He's running massively wide. But look at the lead that Mir has got already. And that'll keep him safe down at turn 3, which is where in 3 we are then. Mir goes in, Miller goes in, Pol Espargaro goes in. Round the outside goes Nakagami. This is going to be bravery on the brakes, and both these guys are good at it. Jack Miller gets underneath Mir. Can he pull it back? Natty, absolutely fantastic stuff. I'll tell you what, if it had been a lap later, and he'd have been more confident perhaps of his grip at that point. Although Jack Miller again gets away on the 43, the 44 of Pol Espargaro 3rd, and then must be Miguel Oliveira. Dovizioso gets a reasonable start, but he's only in 6th place. He's going to have to work hard if he's going to want to get to the front of here. Here with this restart.
And Dovi's coming. He's going to get past Binder up the straight here, despite... Oh, no.
Well, for Dovizioso. Back straight. Down toward the track. Very physical part of the track. Jack Miller. Oh, look at that. The KTM just slotted in there. So we've got a Pramac Ducati out front. and just so many different motorbikes that are behind that we wouldn't have expected. Underneath, that's Oliveira.
No, it's not over yet. This
really isn't.
Yeah, Binder's got the inside for the next corner.
Well, that's exactly what we expected, isn't it? Everybody scrapping.
Yeah.
Proper short race scrap.
And
again, get
Paul Espargaro.
Yeah, after Paul Espargaro.
Dovi, that's late.
And good. Brilliant stuff, but is he then front straight?
Poor Nakagami's been sort of beaten up.
Yeah, I think
ended up sort of dropping back.
He's not got a way back in this. And I'll tell you what, Jack Miller got nabbed last time out by Joan Mir. Mir will be looking to mug him again this weekend. 3.9. 1:23.9 for Jack Miller. That's a great lap time. Really cool indeed. Just 4/10 off a qualifying time that Miller put down just that.
But what's happened is, so Miller's swapped tyres completely. He's gone for a soft front and a soft rear.
Perfect.
He's gone for basically a qualifying.
Everything will be just right. They won't have to wind that bike down at all if they get towards the end of a race. It was all a bit tight on fuel, wasn't it, here over 28?
The question is, with the softer tyres, will they last 12 laps? Well, yeah, they should last 12 laps.
With this temperature as well.
Yeah.
It's lower temper trying to hunt him down, though. Those two, no love lost, as you heard Hodgie say a minute ago.
Yeah, he's catching him.
Paul Espargaro said that Miguel had already crashed by the time he got to him. He said some people are blessed with more intelligence than others, which I think is calling somebody thick. I didn't get it at first.
All last week. And
but they both said they were friends.
And as
it's really amusing.
As always, the beauty of MotoGP or motorcycle racing to do right now.
Well, Miguel's right there in fourth place, chasing down Paul Espargaro, but it ain't over and done with. It's Valentino Rossi, middle of this short 12-lap restarted MotoGP of Styria.
Meanwhile, the championship lead behind the Aprilia. And Alex Marquez, the rookie, on the Honda.
Look, we keep talking about points behind Fabio Quartararo in the championship at this point. Yep. We've seen a KTM win for the first time. We've seen a KTM pole.
Why not? Literally, why not?
See where Binder ends up at the end of this. See where Quartararo and Dovizioso end. Championship is looking exciting. 8 laps to go then.
So, yeah, 4 laps gone. Now,
well, light fuel load, soft tyres for some. It was always going to be 12 Scandinavian flick as Paul Espargaro duffs up Mir. Paul Espargaro is going for the win on the KTM. He's after. Paul Espargaro will bite that screen and will give it everything he's got. He's not shy. He goes to Honda next year. He leaves down. Oh, who was that running on? Quartararo. 13th place for Quartararo. It's Alex Marquez on the factory Repsol Honda behind him. The 21 of Franco Morbidelli looking to get by if he can. Going on between Miller. Paul Espargaro's closed him down. Mir's still there. Look at that, Suzuki just doesn't quite pick up. It has been today as well. Maybe he ran out of tyres, because that looks to me like the Suzuki
yeah, you're right.
Grip.
He had no grip on the rear.
At all. Suzuki an opportunity as well, but I think the KTM's got enough top end to keep him at bay. Certainly has. But I think that Suzuki's well. He's up the inside of Mir. Mir's going nowhere. So the Suzuki's efforts have been thwarted here with this shortened race. So Jack Miller, can Jack do it? Can Jack hang on? 6.5 laps to go of a 12 lap, and now it's Paul Espargaro for KTM that's looking to try and make it 2 wins for KTM in this at their programme to try and get these KTM RC16s there. There's Hervé Poncharal, that's the Tech 3 team.
Who's been racing, you know, a team owner for how many years? 30 years.
As long as I've been around.
Never.
They were stalwarts at Yamaha, but here comes that very quick-looking KTM on Jack Miller's Prata. Yamaha, in the end, went to the Sepang International Circuit Petronas team, and he picked decision, didn't it? Oh, look at Pole, that's tight. That was really tight. If Jack hadn't just been a little bit wide there, you get the feeling that he can do this without having to be too much of a bully. 5 and a bit laps to go. Mir seems to have settled back. Binder's in 6th place, but he won't be there for long if he can help it. And then it's Nakagami that isn't going to have an opportunity. It would
4 races so far this year, and in 2 of them he's been taken out. He has had no luck at all.
He's going to ease Jack up to the curb. He doesn't have to. He's got it all done. So through goes Paul Espargaro at turn 9. This is turn from the Ducati. He almost thwarted him. Pit Byra and the team are all looking on. Oliveira looking as well. Surely not a one. That's taken him out of the equation. That lets Dovizioso off anyway. Nakagami will move up into that 6th place. Now there seems to do it with ease though, and he makes the. I was going to say he made the apex, and Paul Espargaro didn't. To put the Tech 3 KTM on the top step. This is going to be an in. Does it on Mir?
Will Mir get him back here?
No. Don't think Mir's got the grip.
No, I agree.
I think the Suzuki or whatever.
Well, he's got this. He's got another medium in it, but that's what he went with. But maybe it's the same tyre.
So leaps away from the Ducati of Jack Miller. Miguel Oliveira, nice long sweeping lap here from Miguel Oliveira. Will he look at the inside? Oliveira to do that. 4 laps to go. Dovi's coming.
Can you imagine the celebrations if Pol wins? I mean, he will explode.
Are emotional, there's no doubt. He's looking good though. He's looking calm on that KTM. But Dovizioso, has Dovi got in that wide old sideways line down at turn 3? Back to what, second gear? And 4. Onto the rev limiter, the soft rev limiter bounces in. Pol Espargaro a little bit sideways on the way in here, Jack, and find the grip. 3 and a bit laps to go. Mir's not over and done with yet. In the grain up, left-hand side, so maybe it's the front tyre that's causing the problem, not the rear.
He started, look, 24 laps the front. That's
what it's done. If he pushes it on that,
he will be down.
Yep,
and 100%. That's why, obviously, he was going to win that first race. And look at it.
It all went pear-shaped when he got to the second one. Maybe there is some God, after all, in the KTM camp that has got an attack left in him. If he's close, he's going to have a go.
And it's the same with Oliveira.
Yeah, say that again. Still Mir there, but Dovizioso in 4th place. Has he got anything left?
Dovi would be absolutely perfect.
In the mirror. Andrea Dovizioso, we look back at Brad Binder is in 8th place, Valentino Rossi 9th at the moment. Iker Lecuona only 10th for him, he'll be disappointed, but points are up for grabs here. Massive points are up for grabs. 25 points for a win. We don't worry about it. Dovi knows that. Pol Espargaro, can he hang on? 2 laps to go. Surely they'll be aware as well not to run onto the green. We've seen some of that. You lose your last lap, you get put back a place if you run onto the green. Clean and tidy over the last 2.6 miles. So, penultimate lap.
I'm going to repeat what I've said. Pol Espargaro is the more motions. He's got 2 laps leading. If he can do 2 perfect laps without any mistake, territory. He's had 1 MotoGP podium in 7 years of racing.
109 Grand Prix for Pol. Step of the podium. Pol Espargaro for KTM looking to equal Brad Binder's Brno. 1st place for KTM. Equally, if he doesn't hold it together, he will be so devastated. I'd be amazed to see him back. Will he get over there? 2.6 miles to go, just over.
See, I'd be giving him, they need to give him +0.3. Going to go defensive. If he does the perfect lap time now, they can't catch him. He's just done a 24.1. If he does another 24.1, he's more defensive.
But a rider sometimes needs it taken out. I'm sure he will have said, I want exactly what it is on my board, otherwise they wouldn't have given him
time by going defensive. Look how much time he's lost.
Too much. You have called it absolutely spot on, Hodgie.
Just give him
and here comes Jack on the brakes up into turn 4.
There you go.
The management may have given this away. You're so right, Hodgie. I can't yet.
And look who's behind him.
Right on it. Miguel Oliveira is going to look to try and relegate him.
He's going to dive bomb him.
He is going to hate him in camp, Neil Hodgson. You called it spot on. So, Jack Miller, is he going to? Pol Espargaro goes up the inside. Surely. Can't keep it down. Last corner coming up.
Go for it.
Miller's going to go.
Oh, it's tight.
At the line, who went on the green stuff? Oliveira takes the win for Tech 3. That is Hervé Pontrol, Guy Coudon.